Now let us deal with some of the libraries which we'll be working on in Python. So first one is Numpy. So Numpy refers to as numerical Python. So it is an open source library that aids mathematical and numerical calculations. Also, it can be told like computational and also with respect to scientific. Scientific, like again, can be also like referred as engineering and data science programming. So in short, you can tell Python is essential library which will aid in mathematical and statistical operations. So again, that is about NumPy. So again, when it comes to mathematical and statistical operations, we'll be working on a lot of math functions, like to calculate many things. So for example, you wanna reduce some kind of data set or something like that. So based on that, so again, once we get more into details of it, so we'll understand there. And also to understand this, basically you can consider as working on multidimensional matrix. So again, Python provides lists. Over there in lists, you are not able to define any, like it is not limited to singular data type. You can have multiple different data types within a list. So again, depends on the operator how exactly you're using or something like indexing and all. So if you're using a list with different data types, you will end up getting error or something if you're using a for loop, maybe for indexing something else. So in such cases, you can use numeric Python to get it done, and especially it is suited for multi-dimensional arrays and matrix multiplication. So in our project phase, we'll be working on those. So to start with numeric Python, so basically numeric Python are used for arrays. Okay, so numeric arrays. So array is an object in numeric Python, which is actually called as ND array. So again, we'll be seeing in detail about ND array. So basically, the name ND tells about n-dimensional. Okay, so n-dimensional arrays. So arrays are the set of elements which will have same data types. Okay, so like Python lacks with this feature, so that's why we have an open source library which will give all this. So numeric Python is a very widely used, and also when it comes to arrays, again numeric Python arrays specifically. So there are so many functions like defining a dimension. You can manually define the number of dimensions by using ndim function, and also you can declare the item size. So especially you wanna have only 2 items per array or something like that, and also you can declare d-type attributes, so understand data type. Okay, so again we'll see that later if at all we work on such projects when it is required. And also with respect to shape, so you can actually change a shape. Basically you can use this to return an tuple of an array dimension, and also you can do reshape. Okay, so it is used for reshaping. Maybe you want to have a two-dimensional array converted into three-dimensional array, so even that can be done. Or maybe you want to take if you're familiar with matrices, so you want to take a transpose of a matrix, so at that time you can use the function reshape. Okay, and also you can slice up arrays. Okay, so again you might have different matrices, so maybe you need only one column or one row, so you can slice in that. Or maybe you just need one particular element, so it is like kind of indexing. Okay, so that is nothing but the slicing up the exact range of elements from an array. And you can randomize the values also. So you have something like a random which you can be using. Again, this random function has to be it's a Python, this one itself, so you can use that. So again, NumPy also has random. Again, you can import a function known as random too, but will you be using NumPy random itself? So there it will be like a randomizing. Like this is actually the function of normalization. So basically, it will just change the values. Like it will allocate the values within a given index. So for example, if you're giving the float value as 0 to 1, so it will randomly generate values between 0 and 1. Okay. So again, with respect to applications, we'll understand. Just not decimal points. You can give with respect to numbers also. So you will be using something known as a random int. So RANDINT. Okay, so that is the function. So again we'll see examples for this, and also you can find mean, median, standard deviation. All this is statistical ones. So again you can append few more elements to an array. Okay, so you can insert at the very end, and also concatenate multiple arrays. You can do mathematical operations. So if you had considered list, maybe you should have tried adding two lists and see what exactly is the behavior. But whereas you can easily get this mathematics done by using NumPy mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So the primary ones. So then we'll be working on mathematical operations. So that's what I just mentioned. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So these work fluently. So again, it is actually used as a replacement of a popular tool known as MATLAB. Okay, so MATLAB usually works on matrix. Okay, so if you wanna use matrix, like as I was telling, numeric Python is mainly used for arrays, especially multi-dimension. So if you have a two-dimensional array, it is nothing but a matrix. So MATLAB works mostly on matrix, and also it will visualize data. So for visualizing data, we'll be using another package known as matplotlib. So again, that we'll be seeing later on. So hence, NumPy numeric Python along with the MATLAB, obviously for visualization, is kind of the alternative present for implementation or executing certain operations in Python. So again, just to recall, I can tell actually speaking about little history. Initially, in Python, numerics were generated. So again, after that we had another something like another package known as NumArray was developed. So later on, what happened exactly is the features of NumArray was integrated in numerics package, and finally that raised to our numeric Python. So the operations what and all it can perform is like mathematical and logical operations on array. So again, if you are familiar with something known as Fourier transform and also routines of for shape manipulations, so you can use numeric Python. So little advanced stuff if you are working on signals, maybe audio frequency signals. If you wanna manipulate or kind of decode some data, so you can use you have to retain the data or collect the data from some equipment, electronic equipment. So ultimately you will be having some kind of values. So then you can apply these functionalities, which are like these can be done by using the NumPy package. So hence a replacement for matplotlib. So NumPy is often used along with a package known as SciPy. Okay, SCIPY. So that is basically scientific Python, and also matplotlib, as I mentioned before, for plotting. So this combination is widely used to replace the any MATLAB. So basically, MATLAB is another language, or it is a tool also. So you have to learn those syntax, everything. So instead, if you're not planning to learn syntax, rather you can go with this as it does everything over here, and maybe this data you want to do some other manipulation with respect to in Python itself, so that can be done. And coming to how exactly you can install numeric Python, since it is a package which is not available in Python, it's not a inbuilt one, but you have to import this package. Okay, so before importing to your Python file, you have to install it. So maybe for installation you can use something like pip install numpy. So this works in Windows machines, but we will not be doing this as we have installed Anaconda, and also like in Anaconda we have many tools like Spider. Again, if you are going with the Python 3.9, so usually the packages what and all you are getting, especially like for example if you are using Visual Studio, so over there the package whatever you are installing, usually it will have few set of packages already installed along with it. So it is like the side packages are by default installed. For example, NumPy is already installed, and matplotlib also, which we are discussing, which we'll be seeing later on, is also pre-installed. So if at all it is not installed for some reason, you can do this, and also you can upgrade. And this works in with respect to Windows, and also these packages are available in Mac and Linux PCs also. So if you are using like Linux host, maybe Debian based, so then you can use apt-get, something like that. So the function would be like sudo apt-get install python -numpy. So again, you can use conda. With respect to Anaconda, if you have installed in your Fedora, sorry, your Debian based, so like Ubuntu, Lubuntu, Linux Mint, all comes under Debian based Linux distros. So if you have installed on that, you can just use conda install also for the packages. Again, just refer back to the package manager with respect to conda. And also if you are using Fedora, you have to just install using sudo yum install by em. Okay, and again it will be like numpy sci-fi, so it will be combination of it. So again, if none of this is making sense, is not making sense to you, you need not to worry, you will be using Windows. So that's why it is pip install numpy. Else it is already pre-installed, you can just go and check with respect to command prompt. So maybe I'll just check over here itself by launching a command prompt. So I'll just run Python, and interactive Python can be ran in this way also. So you can see my Python is installed over here and it is running. So this is a terminal. This is a console. So interactive Python over here. So I'll just use the keyword import Python. Okay. Sorry, import NumPy, not Python. My bad. NumPy. So here you can see it has successfully imported. So this is the way how you can just import NumPy. So it is installed, else you will be getting an error. So for example, I want to import something like uh, rich. Okay, so rich is a package which is used for this such kind of command lines execution. Okay, so if I do that, it is telling a rich module is not found. Okay, so you will be getting up an error like this, else you can just pip install numpy. Okay, so this works with respect to our host PC. Okay, so again, yeah, it is telling the requirement is already done, so it is already installed in site packages. So that is what I was mentioning. So these are, you can go ahead and check site packages, which and all packages is pre-installed. So this pre-installed is because most of the Python developers use it. So over there you can go and understand. So that is about NumPy, and also this we'll be dealing with all the examples in the next video.